Hey guys, Bigger01 coming at you with another video on my 2024 Yamaha FJR1300Es. I've had this bike now for about 6 months or so, and I just wanted to give a little update on what I think of it and some of the areas that I think Yamaha could easily improve upon on this bike. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Okay guys, if you're not a part of this channel or ever seen any of my videos before, this is a 2024 FJR1300ES. ES is for electronic suspension, and I purchased this bike back in the summer, and it's now November. I haven't ridden it in about a month, but I do ride this bike for mostly commuting right now. I do have a WR250R that I used to ride to and from work now, but now I ride to work with this. And you know, this bike is it's been a great bike so far. I've only put about 1,600 kilometers on it, and I'll do a review maybe down the road, like a long-term review. But for now, I just wanted to kind of, in this video, I wanted to talk about a few things that Yamaha could potentially make their bike better. I mean, I was looking at their website today, and it doesn't look like the 2025 and the 2024 are all that much different in regards to the colors, the options, all that stuff is all pretty much the same. So, you know, I felt like that Yamaha could have certainly provide a few areas that this bike could improve upon. So the first area that I wanted to talk about was the ergonomics. The ergonomics, and I'm 5'8", you know, I weigh just under 200 pounds, so you know, there is some nice things about this bike. It does have, you know, the option to be able to change, you know, your suspension and stuff like that. So you can change it from hard, standard, and soft. And that's a nice feature that the bike has. But what I mean by ergonomics is the fact that these bars aren't adjustable. They're only adjustable from, like, they go like basically in and out like this. They don't adjust up. And so I'm a little shorter guy, you know, I'm 5'8", so, you know, I do lean over the tank a little bit. It is more of a, it is, I mean, it's not as raked as like a sport bike, but, you know, it's definitely got that sport bike feel to it. And I realize that that's the class that it's in, but I mean, it would be nice that if Yamaha could make it so that these were a little bit more adjustable. I mean, I have purchased some risers. I just haven't put them on yet. Hopefully I'll get them on by the end of next season. That way I can enjoy this bike even more than what I do now. This bike does have, you know, the option to raise the seats up and down, but I mean, you know, if you're a taller guy, you'd be a little bit definitely cramped for space. I mean, the other thing that they could do is they could make these foot pegs a little bit more adjustable. Again, that's, you know, I'm not saying change it drastically, but just make it so there's better options for people when they want to buy these bikes, right? I mean, the other thing that I would say is that I wish that it had heated seats. I mean, there's a lot of brands out there nowadays that have the heated seats, and I mean, I'm glad it's got the heated grips, but it certainly would be nice to have, you know, heated seats for those colder days. The section option that I wanted to talk about that I'm getting a lot of comments. I mean, I'm getting a lot of comments on my first video that I posted on this about how this bike is a dinosaur. And I couldn't agree more. I mean, it is a great bike. It does ride nice, and, you know, it has lots of power and all that. But, I mean, this is 2024. I mean, the R1, you know, the MT-07 and the MT-09 all have a few upgrades that the FJR doesn't. And the biggest one that I find that they could change is this dash. I mean, they could go to the TFT screen, which is the thin film screen, you know, and make it so that it's not such a pain in the butt to be able to search for, you know, okay, what's my trip at? You know, how far have I gone? You know, what's the temperature? They could put it all on one big screen, and there's no cycling. You're not thinking about it. You're not looking down at your screen. You could just quickly glance at it. You know, they could put a Bluetooth in. They could put, all these different things that, could basically modernize this bike a little bit. And, I mean, it's still got the old analog, RPM. I mean, I realize that with electronics, there's lots of things that could go wrong, and this is reliable, and that's why they probably have it like this. But they could upgrade the screens nowadays. I mean, screens have gotten a lot better over the years, right? And the options of being able to not look like, one thing I don't like about is I like to know where my range is. Here we are. I like to know what my range is, plus my Odo, all on the same screen. And, it doesn't really do that. I mean, it's got your range, and then it's got your average fuel, and then basically what you're using at the time. But I mean, I would prefer to see the odometer, the range that I have left for fuel, and maybe the temperature, the battery, all that the TFT screen that the R1 and the MT's lines have, right on their dash. I mean, it's all integrated, and you could have your dummy lights and all that stuff that, technology that could easily fit in there. And it would just make it look a little newer, a little more updated. People would be a little bit more interested in, something that's a little bit more modernized. The other thing that I would say that also the R1 lines have is they have the quick shifter. I mean, this bike, don't get me wrong, it's just smooth, especially after the first oil change. The first oil change was kind of clunky before, but once I did the first oil change on it, it definitely helped with the shifting. But the quick shifter is an electronic shift basically that would help you shift faster, smoother, would be a little bit less wear and tear on the motor or on the transmission, right? Especially for some of us who maybe may not shift the best, right? So I thought that would be a really cool option that we could have on the electronic side of things. I mean, having a Bluetooth and navigation also integrated into this screen be pretty cool, right? I mean, you can buy a car nowadays that for the last 10 years you've had screens that have had Bluetooth, and I didn't realize that Bluetooth through your phone is going to go through your helmet anyhow, but you never know, there's something on there that, like your navigation or something like that, that you may want to stream to the screen to be able to not have to buy an aftermarket GPS or something along those lines. The last thing I wanted to talk about is the customization and the website for Yamaha. When you buy these bikes, typically you're going to buy them from a dealer who has one on the floor or maybe has one on the way. And nowadays there's a lot of dealerships out there, maybe not motorcycle world, but definitely in the car world, where you can go on their website and you can pick all the different trim packages, the performance mods that you want, and all of those things that you want to customize your own motorcycle. And I mean, different trim packages, maybe you don't want the heated grips, or maybe there's a basic version that you could buy that's just the motorcycle and it's just raw. But then you have your luxury trim package that has all of the options of that I've already explained in this video, that it's going to cost the consumer more, but maybe maybe these are things that the consumer wants. So being able to have the option to be able to customize a purchase, or at least have more than just one version to purchase. I mean, even the color. I mean, some people like black, some people like gray. This is a cobalt blue, and it's the same this year for 2025. There isn't a lot of changes that I've noticed on the website. So maybe that's something that they could work on, or maybe create a second version of this bike that is the same bike. It's just got creature comforts that are upgraded, right? And this is modernization. This is 2024, and we should be able to, as a consumer, purchase a bike the way we want it, especially for the amount of money that we spend on these bikes nowadays, right? And I think that that's something that Yamaha could improve upon. So again, I'm not trying to slag Yamaha. I just wanted to bring this this video forward because I'm getting a lot of comments on my first video that I put about how much this bike is a dinosaur. And I couldn't agree more. There's a few things that they could definitely improve upon that make this bike a little bit more appealing to, you know, somebody who's just on the fence for one of these bikes. So if you like this video, please drop a like. I'd like to hear from you guys on what your thoughts are on what areas that Yamaha could improve this bike. How do they make this bike better, right? And or what do you want, right, to see that Yamaha changes? I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's, you know, it's kind of cool. I like talking to you guys when you leave comments, and I like replying. So definitely don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for future videos, because I got a few more videos planned for this motorcycle. So thanks for watching.